I know it's going to take a while for some people to come in. Julie, you're here live. I'm so excited that you're here. Again, super excited. Silly. I am so sad that yesterday didn't record. And so I just want to start with some housekeeping around that. For anyone watching the replay, you'll be able to watch this replay. Because this is being recorded. And we're going to figure out something to do with next like steps, like tomorrow, to figure out how we can bring back day 2 or like even expand on day 2 so that you're not feeling like, oh man, I really missed out on that thing. So hello to everyone else who is jumping in. I want to know, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling the last few days? I know I gave homework on Monday about starting to love your bodies and starting to get like reconnected with yourself. Yesterday, we talked about boundaries and about developing some scripts of when blank happens, when your positivity bubble is rubbed up on, or there's like that little, I don't know, pop of the bubble, like a pressure on the bubble, that you have an idea of what you can say. Would love to know how you're feeling about that, and maybe what you're excited for today, or potentially what your challenges are today. I'm looking at my schedule. I'm definitely going to make time for us tomorrow. Probably still 1 o'clock, because I do want to go over some of the things yesterday if you missed the replay. And also I had a few little light bulb moments today. So we will we'll get there. There is a chat right on the right-hand side. Feel free to let me know how you are feeling as we get into day 3 work. I'm excited for day 3 work because this is where in Lovely Human School, because I'm dropping like all of the Lovely Human School sort of deets. Oh, did I send the right one to you? I think I sent the wrong... I think I sent you the wrong link here. Let me send you the right link. We want to do the workbook, don't we? Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. Ignore that. That was like emails, I guess. You don't want emails. Okay, here we go. Go ahead, make a copy of this if you haven't already. This is what you need. This is what you want. Cool. Awesome. We're here. So when we're thinking about where we've gone for the last 2 days and how it really relates to the 8-week course, which is like all the deets that I'm dropping for you, so you get a sneak peek. Oh, it was the workbook? I don't know what I'm doing, Julie. It was the new moon last night. I'm just going to like blame the planets and where we are in the solar system. Maybe a breath. Maybe I need a breath. I just came off a really intense call. So let's just ground down. I need to ground down. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, let it go. 2 more just like that. Fill on up. Release it. Last one. And out. Okay. This is mindfulness, right? In action, when we talk about Lovely Human School, we talk about we want to feel really great. We want to achieve our dreams, want to go after our goals. We need the process. And that's what the 8-week course does. And I just modeled it to you because what was happening, a little bit too much in the head, a little bit too much up in like brain connections not working. What do we do first? We go back to reconnecting to ourselves. We come back to the breath. We come back to presence. We come back to mindfulness. This is what works. And I can just like feel it in my body that I was all up here trying to organize, coming off a call to this call. Day 2 didn't load, all of that, to then coming back to center. And I feel like I can like show up more. This is what I want for you in your daily lives, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with the people you work with, whether it's with your clients or your partners. I want you to be able to remember that this framework of presence first, then positivity, and then potential, this is the way. It's the way. It's one way, but it's a way that you can keep repurposing and keep coming back to, knowing that it actually works, that coming back to yourself is key before you can get your mindset or your brain on board. You have to find within you that connection and that reverence for self. So we did that 2 days ago. Yesterday, we talked about being here, mindset, positivity. And then today, what we're going to talk about is the juicy stuff, which is abundance. I believe that we are meant to live fortunate lives. And fortune might look like a number of different things to a number of different people. It might look like freedom in terms of choice, money, travel, time. There could be a lot of different ways that you could see fortune. When you look into the workbook, that's the word I'm trying to find, I share with you an abundance practice. Now, I am someone who was like living in overdraft for a very, very long time. I'd like get a paycheck on a Thursday, be in overdraft by a Monday, and really felt that that there was like no way out of it. And during that time, I did a lot of research about like, what can I do if I don't physically have more money coming in? How can I change my energetic frequency to match what it is that I do want? Since that time, I've come across a number of different meditations, a number of different practices, but the one that I'm sharing with you today is like tried and true, actually freaking works. I did this for almost an entire year. So on my column, and I'll share with you how to actually set it up, I did like 300 and some odd days of imagining that I had money coming in and that I was spending it on something. Because sometimes what happens when we think of money and abundance is we grasp at it, right? Like we're worried that it's not going to last. We're worried that it's going to get taken away from us, or that something's going to happen and we're going to need more. And it's really that lack mentality. And I didn't want to stay in that lack mentality, even though every time I opened up my banking app, it's like not much there. I wanted to start pretending that there was, and trick my brain into thinking that I was abundant, right? We want to be the thing before we actually have the thing. And so this is an Abraham Hicks process that comes from a bunch of different processes for abundance, but this one works so well. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 4 columns. The first column is going to be your date. So whatever day you start this on, today is March 2nd, 2022. And I want you to imagine that you are getting, oh no, I don't know what this is. We're going to imagine that you're getting $1,000 in today. So in the column, you're going to write in $1,000. And then the out column, you have to imagine that you are spending $1,000 today. Okay. And so you can spend it on whatever you want. That's why there's a description. You can spend it on one thing. You can spend it on a number of things, but your brain is going to start wiring the idea that money is coming into you and money is going out. So you can see from the workbook that I really wanted a new mattress, January 24, 2020. So I spent $1,000 on a new mattress. The next day, you're going to add $1,000. So you get $2,000 the next day. The day after that, you get $3,000. Then you get $4,000, $5,000. Every single day, you get $1,000 more than the day before. And what this does is it allows you to feel like all of your wildest dreams are actually possible, right? And it's a fun exercise where you start pairing the energy of fun and joy, which is a higher frequency than that of shame, guilt, disgust, despair, any of those lower vibe feelings. And it actually is kind of fun because you're like, oh, I want end tables. Oh, I want my fence. Oh, I'd love groceries for a week. Oh, I want to put this money into savings. And all of a sudden you have a very different relationship with money just because your energy has changed. So let me know in the chat if you're like, oh, I have a question about this. I will admittedly say that when I did this, you know, by day like 200, when you're getting $200,000 and you're like, what am I supposed to spend this on? I was like, helping startups, women entrepreneurs. I was like just giving them $50,000, right? You're imagining like what could be possible when you have a lot of money, what could be possible when abundance is pouring in. And then it becomes not just about you and sometimes our own judgments about, shame or guilt around it being selfish to want things for ourselves, and instead opening up to the possibility of, oh, I could help so many people. The more I have, the more I can give. The more I receive, the more generous I can be. And this was a huge, huge turning point in my life where I realized that I am worthy of this money. I truly believe that like we are all meant to have this, and that it is possible for us, regardless of what our starting point is, regardless of how we are feeling. Because sometimes we're just like one phone call, one interaction away from abundance in some form. And I want to share with you a story of when I bought this house that I'm in. I lived around the corner in an apartment and I had no money in savings. I did have a job. I had credit card debt. I had a car. There was debt on that car. And I was walking around the neighborhood when I saw this house, and the owner was putting a for sale sign up. I was walking my dog, and just something came over me of like, this is my house. Like, I don't know what it is, but then just like this energetic pull to this house. This is my house. I called a realtor the next day to walk in. And by Friday, that was a Wednesday, by Friday, I was putting an offer in on this house. I didn't have any money in savings. All of a sudden, I had 3 weeks to come up with $17,000, and I had $0 in savings. And all of a sudden, my energy of, or the energetics, the frequency of like, this is meant for me. I believe that this is like truly my house, was then met with possibility and opportunity. I felt like I could ask somebody for money. I sold a bunch of stuff to get money. And within 3 weeks, $17,000 found its way to me, and I was able to put the down payment on the house. And I think that it's a really great reminder that anything is possible. Like, I am not a special human. Like, I'm just like a regular person, and abundance has always found a way to my life. And I have to say that it's because of this trust that I will always be supported, and that there will always be divine compensation. And so when we live life in that like lower energy, I don't know when the next thing is coming, I have to hold on to this really, really tightly. That's what we get more of, right? That's where there's blockages. And so we want to get into the higher frequency. We want to truly step into fortune. And that's where this practice comes in. I would love for you to do this practice every single day. Maybe it's your morning routine. Maybe it's your nighttime routine. You can do it on your phone, but put your Pinteresting to good use. Like, buy those pair of shoes, fix up your roof, go ahead and buy that really expensive thing that you never thought you could, so that your brain starts to believe that these things are happening, and therefore doesn't fight against when abundance actually comes in. Let me know what you think of that. Julie and Jesse are both here. How does this feel? Does it feel easy? Does it feel like, ooh, I might have some challenges here? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Love to know how you're feeling. Does this resonate? What would you say your relationship is right now? Yeah, it might be some challenges, but also exciting. And let me know when you think you're going to do it. I was doing mine in the morning. I love doing it in the morning. I would do my meditation, and then I would do this, and I would really have fun with it. Another thing is to, when you're going through your day, like I have a list in my phone called Manifest, or like Manifest, or I think Abundance. I use both of them. And when I see something that I would love, I write it down in that note, so that when it comes to this table, I have things to pull from. So like maybe I want a Peloton, right? So I have it in my phone, so that when I'm on day, I don't know, 10 and have $10,000, it's like, okay, there's $3,000 right there. And then I could use the 7,000 for something else. So you want to make sure that you are using up all of the money that you get in on that day. So imagine you get $5,000 in a day, maybe 2,000 goes to savings. Maybe you're going to put 3,000 towards a Peloton. You want to make sure that all of that money comes in and then all of that money goes out, so that you get used to the idea of money flowing back and forth, back and forth. You are always divinely compensated. Let me know if you want any more of my abundance tips and tricks. This is just a very small peek of what I share in Lovely Human School's 8-week course, where we have like an entire 90 minutes going through how to actually prepare our bodies and our minds for abundance, right? Rather than just like wishing we had those things, tuning our body to that energetic frequency that we are worthy, and to the elevated emotions that are associated with abundance and fortune. So this is always like a really fun class, because we kind of go through, some of the heavier stuff when we're reconnecting to ourselves, and we're going through like the stories and the patterns that we've been stuck in. And then also when we think about like the boundaries and the having hard conversations, like there's still a little bit of like icky self-care when it comes to abundance. I feel like there's so much more like air that we can breathe. It's just like brighter and fresher and happier. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Let me know if there are any questions. I feel like, the energy of today, me, aligns very well to abundance, because it is that like upper, higher sort of energy. So I'm just here for it. Using the tools, using the framework to really step into connecting to ourselves, then wiring our brains, and then bringing home the bacon. I think this is all I really wanted to share with you. It's really short today, but this is super important. I really want to impress upon that framework of connecting to yourself first, and then going to mindset, and then thinking abundance. Don't just run to abundance first. We have to make sure that we're good here, and that we're like loving up on ourselves. I am going to send an invite for tomorrow. So put it in your calendars, 1 p.m. tomorrow. We are going to meet. We can bring in some of the boundary stuff if you missed it. And then I'm also going to share with you a few extra like sneaky bits. And I want to give you some resources of things that have been like really helping me lately, and potentially thinking about more ways that I can support you. I did mention yesterday that I'm doing 30-minute self-care audits. So if you want a free audit of like your self-care right now, what's working for you, what's not working for you, just send me a message on Instagram or reply to any email that you've received from me, and we'll set up a time. My calendar wasn't linking, and I was just like, it's not meant to be. Let's just find a time that works for all of us, and we're all on different time zones. So whatever. Send me a message if you want that 30-minute audit. I'm only offering them like tomorrow, Friday, next week, and then that's it. It's like when they're gone, they're gone. But I'd love to work with you on a one-on-one basis to wave my magic self-care queen wand and see that you can schedule in self-care, which is just like one step closer to the work that we're doing in this 8-week course. We got to prioritize you, right? We got to do the fluffy self-care before we can do the icky self-care. And I was really excited to share with you some of the icky self-care today. All right. I'm ready for lunch. Duke's ready for a bathroom break. And I'm just going to end it here. I'm sending you all so much love, so much gratitude for showing up, for doing the work. Those of you on the replay, let me know in the chat that there is a replay or in the comments section. Really, really excited that this is recording today, and I'll think about what we can do for tomorrow. But put in your calendars, 1 p.m. tomorrow on Thursday. We will meet again soon. See ya.